Hey everyone, welcome to the Knight Errant division of our Bretonian Beauty Pageant. There are 9 Knights Errant competing in this division. The first one is an old style knight. I'm calling him white and red. My initial thought for him was white with some very contrasting wet red stripes, and then I realized he looked kind of like a candy cane, and so on the back I made the red stripes into more of a thicker pattern, um, which I thought looked a lot better. So you'll notice with a lot of these knights, I tended to go for contrast, very dark colors matched up with very light colors, and this one kind of epitomizes that. So then we have using one of the newer style knights. This one I call the Trident because of his heraldry, with a very the dark and aggressive black and red color scheme with the bright yellow borders thrown in to give it some contrast. So then we move to we'll call him the White Lion. This one I thought I actually kind of like that the white turned out fairly clean looking. White and yellow for me are very difficult colors to paint, and obviously to take photos of, I guess. But I thought it came across with a very clean white look, and then with the very dark and bold heraldry with the black and red background there. So moving on, the one just call him the Black Axe. A very simple design, all black, with the white heraldry with the black axe on it. So there's the Black Axe, referring, of course, to the heraldry and not his weapon. And we go to red and black. This was kind of funny because his color scheme is just opposite between the front and the back of the horse. And again, more blurry pictures. Sorry about that. I tried to be careful. There we go. That's better. Now a lot of these Knights Errant, I didn't make them as shiny as Knights of the Realm or Grail Knights or characters, and that was partially by design. If I had to touch this one up, I might make him a little less, his metal a little less grungy. But for the most part, I wanted the Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights to just to be flashier than these guys. So anyway, there's red and black. And then we have another bright one, the yellow. I call him yellow with the blue stag, but you know, obviously he's yellow and blue, and then red and white all thrown in together. Actually, it's an old style knight, obviously, but it's a knight of the realm, and then I sawed off the top of his helmet to make it flat and make it more knight errant-y looking. And I thought this one, when I kind of planned out this color scheme, I was a little bit nervous about it, but I was actually pretty happy with how it turned out. Yeah, it's a big splash of color to his unit. Here you have one with me again, just tackling the tough colors. Yellow is a very hard color for me to paint in large surfaces, and so went ahead and tried it with all yellow with just red borders and the black boar decal, just to give it some contrast there. So there's the yellow with the black boar, and we go to the white axe. And normally I try not to match up white with yellow, but this one I thought it turned out pretty well. And again, there's black and red thrown in there for some contrast. So the white axe. And then we go to the black castle. Obviously, again, referring to the heraldry. Again, a new style knight. This is one of the earlier ones I painted, and I don't know if you can tell now, but the way I used to highlight was more of a dry brush technique across the top of things, where now I just use a different technique, and sometimes I like the older technique better. On this one especially, I thought the highlighting, I like it. I think it worked better. So that's it. Just to place your vote by making a comment below, and I will tally them up in a couple weeks.